welcome back to another video. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and this is going to be me rating Marianas Trench albums from my least to most favorite, because I'm a big Marianas Trench fan, and I figured this would be a fun thing to do because I own 4 out of their 5 albums. And I thought, why not? I have a lot of things to say about each album, so yeah. So they have 5 albums. I don't have all of them. I am missing one. I'm missing their newest one, which is Phantoms. But in order, we have Fix Me, we have Masterpiece Theater, we have Ever After, we have Astoria, and as I said, Phantoms, which I don't own yet. We'll get there one day. So let's get started, shall we? So first on my list, my least favorite album, unfortunately, I'm really sorry. I know a lot of people like this album. It did not hit it well for me. Is Astoria. I'm really sorry. If it looks like I'm reading, it's because I've got notes. Um, so yeah, it's a good album. It's a good album. It didn't hit the right way as the other ones, and I'll explain why. So for this one, there's a lot of good songs on it, like most of them. Some of their most popular hits, I can't remember them right now. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of good hits on this one, but I will put text on the screen to state which one is like the most popular on this one anyways. It's a fun theme for an album. It's kind of like an 80s, like I don't know if you can see very well, it's kind of like an 80s, I believe it's Goonies inspired album. This is the back of it. This is the inside, and I believe the pamphlet has like, yeah, the pamphlet is also like interesting, like with all the song lyrics and all that. So you've got like this situation going on, which is really cool. It's like lots of like caves and treasure hunting. You got like a boat in the back. They're all hanging off of each other, off of like, what is this that you find caves? And then a map. You got a map with another little boat over here. It's like nice used map with like mountainous peaks and a little compass at the very top. It has like, the band's thank yous and each of the members' thank yous and all of these song lyrics. So that's a really cool touch to go along with like the more adventurous theme of it. Their most popular albums, in terms of sound and concept, I believe I'll show if I'm right or wrong on that, but I think that's what I had read. While it's good and catchy, it does not. Sorry about that. While it's good and catchy, it doesn't invoke strong feelings in me. It's a good. Sorry, you've been moved because cat. But yeah, while it's a good album in terms of catchy beats and all that, it didn't evoke like strong emotions in me like the other ones that we'll get into. But aside from that, like that's just a personal thing for me. Like a song doesn't have to like touch you super deep emotionally for it to be a good album. It's a good album in its, you know, in and of itself. It's just it doesn't quite hit that mark with me. But yeah, it's a solid one. It's pretty good, I would say. I don't hate any of their albums. It's just this one happens to be my least favorite out of, well, many good albums. So, second on our list is Masterpiece Theater. So, it has a more subtle concept slash theme to it. As I think the title of the album suggests, it's like theater based. This is the inside. Uh, Mike and Ian are hiding behind. Hold on a second. Are hiding behind the discs. So here they all are. Uh, yeah. And I don't know. I like the simplicity of this. It looks like a vinyl record, and the back's pretty with all this nice pattern. I don't know what you would call it. um, but yeah, it's a subtle concept. It has little. I don't know if you were able to tell, but it's a actual theater image, like on the stage, and you've got the curtains on the sides and like all the chairs and all that. It's really cool. It's got some dancey tunes and some more intense ones, which I like, because yeah, it just like it grabs me from my heart and like pulls it out, but at the same time you get those songs that you just want to like dance and sing to. So I think that's a nice balance. The start, middle, and end track, so Masterpiece Theater 1, 2, and 3, in my opinion, should be listened to in that order that comes in the album. The rest of the songs can be listened to in any order, and like obviously in the back you get like the track listing. That's the word, the track listing in the back. But yeah, aside from 1, 6, and 12, like those are the track numbers. The rest of the songs, listen to them in whatever order you want. Those three, I'll explain why. I don't know if this is a little spoiler, but like I'm not gonna go into detail about what it entails. But the 12th track, which is Masterpiece Theater 3, uh, is most, if not all of the songs combined together in some way, in some form. So that's why that one is to be listened to last, especially because if you listen to it first and then you listen to the other songs, then what's going on? But if you listen to like if you listen to that song last, you'll be like, oh, that's part of this song and that's part of that song and all that. I really like that. It hits more in my feels than Astoria, which is why it's in second place. Um, I need to put a trigger warning for the if you're gonna be listening to this album, a trigger warning for the second to last song, as it is about drug addiction. It's very intense. It has a dark story behind the song. I won't spoil it, but like it's intense. It's sad, but it also explains a lot. And um, if you know about the history of the band and the lead singer, it explains a lot of why everything came to be the way it is. So yeah, it's hard to listen to, but that's some good storytelling. Fix Me is number 3, which is this one, which has a very old, rusted, used first aid kit, and then we just have in the back with Josh screaming, and the other members covering their ears. This is the first album they released. It is the third on my rating list. There are 3 to 4 dancey tunes, in my opinion. The rest is fairly heavy. It's their heaviest, darkest album, I think. The title sums up the album, Fix Me. It's a very mental health focused album. Um, and a lot of the lyrics show that. And also, just like some of the intensity of the instrumentals used in it shows intensity. The song Fix Me, which is not on the album, was meant to be in it, because all of the albums have a song that is named after it, where the album is named after that song. That one doesn't. It was supposed to, but yeah. The only songs to listen to in order, in my opinion, are Shake Trap, I don't know why I said that, and Skin and Bones, again, I don't know why I said that. There's no proper order in which to listen to these songs. I think I said that just because Skin and Bones is. It's intense, it's dark, it's heavy. I feel like it closes the album well. Shake Trap is kind of middle track, um, and it's just a nice, fun, dancey tune. And I think I don't know, it helps encompass it together. Again, listen to it in any order. That's just my personal opinion. Um, yeah. There's no specific lyric or instrumental flow between the songs. Um, Astoria has a little bit. More than Fix Me. Fix Me is the only one that I didn't notice any, like, even if it was subtle, like a flow in between songs, even though they're all in a theme. There's no instrumental flow. Again, that will be explained shortly. uh, there's quite a bit of punk influence, rock influence. It's very relatable when you're not doing well, which could be a good or bad thing. For me, it's both because you just feel understood, you feel heard, and it's like, yes, this is exactly what I'm feeling. I don't know if I should like hold the album up while I'm talking about it, but yeah, it's just like, you know, this album gets me. I feel this album. It like speaks to my soul when I'm not doing good. So that can be interpreted as a good or bad thing. Depends on where you are. For me now, uh, again, it depends on how bad it is. If it's just like one bad night and I just need to let my feelings out, this one. um, it's very raw, real, and emotional. I'm pretty sure I've cried a few times listening to this album just because. Everything captures the scent of mental health, of depression and addiction in a devastating way, in some way in each song, I find. Uh, except Shake Trap, I think. Shake Trap. And Decide to Break It. Mm, I don't know. But most of the songs, like, it captures it, which is a lot of what I've been saying as well. Um, a big trigger warning for just this whole album, if that wasn't obvious. Um, there's mentions of self harm, there's mentions of addictions, suicide, general depression and anxiety, eating disorders. Just again, be careful. Um, it's a very, very good album. It's really well done. It's, like I said, it's very raw and emotional. Be careful. Take those trigger warnings seriously because if you're not doing good, it can get into a spiral, and I don't want anyone to spiral just for like a good work of art. All right. Phantoms, which I don't have. I'll see if I can put a picture. Phantoms is their most recent album. It came out in 2019, but many life circumstances happened that I haven't been able to get that album, including the pandemic. But Phantoms is, in my opinion, their spookiest album. Not in like a spooky like Fix Me is spooky, but in a very dark, like your brain like is just way but it has, I don't know, like spooky but in like a Halloween, not Halloweeny way, in a romantic way. I don't know. It's a spookier album. It's the spookiest album in my opinion. It's danceable, but with roots of Fix Me in it. It had, in terms of depth, it has some roots of Fix Me in it, and some haunting tunes. I also wrote that it is beautiful. It's a beautiful album. Um, Eleonora and Killing Kind are to be listened in their order, especially Killing Kind, because just like Masterpiece Theater, the last song, like there's sprinkles of all the other songs in it. The other songs can be listened to in order. Eleonora, yeah, it's a good opening track. And Killing Kind just, envelops it nicely. It's very moody, not as like moody, like dark and like dreary as Fix Me, and not triggering. It's just like a moody, like you want to walk through like a forest in the evening during winter or something. It's very moody, it's haunting but captivating, and that's why I like it. Uh, and last but not least is Ever After. This is the album that got me to fall in love with them. And I wrote a bit more about it because it is my favorite album. So let's get into it, shall we? So, Ever After. It has some spooky elements, some instrumental, some orchestra. They had like choir and orchestrated stuff specifically for this album. It is beautiful. Oh my god, it's so good. Yeah, it's beautiful, it's catchy. There are a couple of ballad-esque songs. I'm not a fan of ballads, but it works. It's haunting, but slightly less than Phantoms. It's basically one long 55-minute to 1 hour song. So it has 12 tracks, but it's essentially just 1 hour long song, which is epic in my opinion. Um, so obviously, you need to listen to every song in order of the track listing. It's amazing, and the way they flow together, oh, is so good. The last song is everything combined. The music videos for this album as well are to be watched in the order they were released. So it goes Haven't Had Enough, Fallout, Desperate Measures, Stutter, and By Now. The music videos for those, watch them in order that they came out, because there's plot. There's some plot, and it's good, and if you don't watch in order, you're gonna be confused as all hell. Um, there's a semi-short story slash fairy tale plot that was made for the album. So, and it's so good. Okay, I took out the pamphlet. I'm sorry. This is the cover of the album. So it's all like little toys in a shelf. You've got like little teddy bears, you've got toy soldiers, you've got little dollies, you've got robots, a spaceship. Like, it's so good. In the back, they're all little toys. They're like puppets and like Jack in the Box and like soldiers and stuff. It's so good. In the back, it's got some more toys. Yeah, I love this artwork so much. And the pamphlets that you get in albums where it's like commentary and like the lyrics and all that, not only do you get the lyrics on these sides, so every bit that's a dark color is the song lyrics. Every bit that's a light color and has an image is the story that they made to go with this album. It's a fairy tale. It's a dark fairy tale, but yeah, all the songs go with this, and it's a really cute read too. I'm not gonna read it, but yeah, it's such a cool concept. I don't know how to like properly explain how much I love this and how cool I think this is, but Yeah, just trust me on it. But yeah, so it all ties in together. Um, it's for the angsty teen in you. I was a teenager when it came out and when I fell in love with it. It's for the angsty teen or the grown up in you looking for a concept album, creating a whimsically childlike story but with more mature themes. It was award winning. I don't know how many words. I'll pop that up on screen, like right here, maybe. Uh, it's their most popular album, I believe. Um, as I said many times already, it made me fall in love forevermore. It's beautiful to listen to and takes me back to when I first fell in love with them, and I'm like, this is why. um, one of two of the ballads has a very deep, heartfelt meaning to it. It has meaningful lyrics, and it can be taken in two different ways. Um, and I don't know why it took me like 12 years to think of the other concept that it can be taken into. If you listen to it, it's their track Porcelain. And at first, I thought it was a very like love song, couple song. It doesn't have to be. It's not necessarily just that. It's also kind of, excuse me, it's also a song of just being there for the person, letting the person know you're there for them, you're there to listen. They have someone that they can fall on and to come to. And it was when my brain put two and two together, I was like, oh, that's a beautiful meaning. Like, that's so important. So yeah. uh, for the music videos, again, trigger warning, especially for the music video for By Now. There is gore and blood. There is violence, drugs, alcohol, and weapons, guns. Um, there's armed crime, manipulation, toxicity, abusive relationship portrayal, a man being abused, uh, and it offers a plot twist or an alternative ending to what's written in here. So there are two endings to this. There's the ending that's written in this, and By Now, the music video offers an alternate ending. It is a much darker ending. It's still interesting though, and it's kind of like, oh, how did it actually end though? Either way, you can choose which ending you prefer, I guess. But yeah, so it's a really well done video, but it is dark. It is heavy. I watched it and I was just kind of like, the whole time. So just be mindful of that. But very well done, in my opinion. Like Astoria, it has a few bits that have nostalgic influences. Uh, yeah, not quite a few of their songs. A few of their songs and some of the music videos have like more retro vibes to them, which I think is always fun. Like, why not? Um, I had made a list of special mentions, but I didn't write them down. I have them in my notes on my phone. I didn't write them down because I didn't want this video to be super long, and I don't know how interested people would be in this. However, if you are interested in special mentions about the albums, about specific songs or whatever that I didn't talk about, let me know because I'll gladly make that video. And while you're at it, let me know if you agree with this list of Astoria, and then Masterpiece Theater, and then Fix Me, and then Phantoms and Ever After. That's my order. If you agree with me, let me know. If you don't agree with me, let me know. You can tell me what order the albums are in for you. And maybe you'll discover this band, or you'll discover more albums from this band that you didn't know. And maybe tell me ratings of albums that you like of different bands and stuff. I'd like to know. So, with all that said, I'm glad I made this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Bye!